And principle 1, I'd like for everybody to write down here, says, successful people write things down. That's principle number 1. The second principle the successful people that are outlined in this book here is that they view the future in optimistic terms. The future in optimistic terms. So the second principle is view the future optimistically. By that I mean, step 3 here is it says that successful people are action-orientated. Again, successful people are action-orientated. And this is something that I know it seems common sense, but there's a lot of times that we talk about doing something and we don't ever take any action forward into that. You know, we have this goal, we have this plan, but we don't ever take a step forward into getting that plan in action. So it talks about successful people being action-oriented. Just to give you some examples, with our DJ business, we have a lot of goals we write down, a lot of things we say, but until you actually take a step forward in achieving it, then it makes it kind of hard to bring any. It makes it hard to bring it to fruition unless you're seeing some positive results. And so one thing I would encourage everybody to do, and this is something I do now, is make a daily to-do list of all the things that you want to get done as it pertains to your apartment or as it pertains to your life, and then make sure that you knock that out every day. And by knocking it out every day, once you knock it out, it gives you that sense of accomplishment. You go, okay, I knocked out this to-do list, now tomorrow I can make another to-do list. And you start making good progress there. And I'm 28 years old, and I've had a lot of success in the business, but it has to do more of the daily things that I'm doing, more of the daily things. So I'd encourage you guys, if you can, write down your goals, but then be action-orientated so you're actually making positive steps forward towards getting those. The principle number 4 is you want to focus on constantly raising your earning ability. Andrew Carnegie said that if you take your reputation plus your education, that will ultimately determine your compensation. So your reputation plus your education equals your compensation. I don't know if that registers with you. In the DJ business, we did last year a little over 3,000 weddings. But when we started, we did 0 weddings. And the first wedding was really hard to book because you have to convince somebody to book you when you've never done a wedding before. And then they're not really sure whether that's a good idea or not. And then after you do that wedding, then it leads to another one. You can gradually raise your prices. And as it pertains to you guys personally, if you show success at the current apartment complex that you're at, you can be considered for promotion, or you can move up into a different apartment complex, and you can start to use this letter of recommendation to go to the next place. So I'm encouraging you to do, if you can, is look at your job today as, I know you can get kind of into the ho-hum of the job sometimes, but if you can look at it as, hey, I am working today at the apartment complex to build my reputation. Because I know that in the future, I can exchange my reputation for the compensation that I want. If you have a great reputation, you don't have to fill out a resume. You say, I worked 4 years here, call them up for a reference, bam, you're in the next door. So I would encourage you guys to view your job as a place to build a reputation. As far as education goes, this is something that was kind of profound to me. Education, does anybody here read books all the time? Anybody here a big reader? You have any big readers in the house? Okay, this is some startling information for you that I had drummed up here. USA Today said that 57% of Americans have actually not read a book since 2002. 57% of Americans. Now, if we look around the room, that's a little more than half of us, so we can maybe point fingers at the person next to you. But 57% of Americans have not read a book in its entirety since 2002. Some other startling information is 42%. Now, 42%, this gets slightly better. 42% of college graduates have actually not read another book since they graduated college. So 42%, okay? Now, if you look at the millionaires, they average 1 book per week. They read 1 book per week. So, you got to look at it, you're going, okay, the average American is not reading a book ever. The average millionaire is reading 1 book per week. Maybe there's something to that. And what I would recommend you do, and what they talk about in this book, is I would recommend that you'd spend 1 hour per day reading something that will help make your organization better. 1 hour per day. I know it sounds crazy. Your boss probably won't pay you for it, but then all of a sudden you'll get promoted and you get paid. And a great book to read if you're in an organization such as yours is a book called Good to Great. Has anybody here read that book, Good to Great? It basically gives you 1,000 ideas for how to improve any organization at all. But what happens is now that you have the reputation, you show up early, you stay late, people go, man, that person's sharp. But now you start bringing new education and new ideas to the table, you start to become irreplaceable at your apartment complex, but irreplaceable in general. Because you're the one coming to work every day with fresh new ideas. I'll give you a good example of this. In the DJ business, Who here manages more than 5 employees? Manages more than 5? Okay, you know, it gets kind of exciting. You get that one guy, he calls in once a week, he's late, you know, hey, I didn't know the alarm didn't go off. Hey, my phone, I had this phone, my phone was not on. I used my phone as my alarm. You know, hey, I was up late last night, you know, and they always have these fun excuses. Like, then we fine you $40 if you're late. If you're late by 1 minute, it's $40 DJ connection because you can't be late. But the way we do it there is we started to discover that at DJ Connection, we're only as good as our last show, as our last wedding that we did. And so after reading Good to Great, it talked a little bit in there about different companies. And who here is loyal to Quick Trip? Who here is loyal to Quick Trip? Are you down with Quick Trip? I saw a couple guys roll in today with the QT cups. Well, QT, ladies, you can attest to this, but last time you went to QT, why did we go there? Because the bathrooms are clean, right? It's not super funk. Have you guys been? I mean, it's not disgusting. It's not. It's the only gas station in Tulsa that seems to have figured out to turn the pump on when you roll up, right? It's the only one that seems to figure out that in home skillet might want to wear a uniform at work. You know, it's the only one where they figure out that maybe they don't want to put dirty magazines right by where the kids buy their toys and stuff, and their suckers and stuff. It's the only one that kind of figured it out. Well, Quick Trip has this system in place where they have mystery shoppers. And for anybody here who's ever worked for Quick Trip, there's a mystery shopper that comes in during your shift, and they rate your performance, and based on your review, that determines what you get paid. Does that, everybody follow that? So if you're a slacker and you're working at Quick Trip, then you're not going to get paid very well. And after the 3rd time you don't get paid well, they ask you to leave. So if you see a guy at Quick Trip saying, hey, welcome to Quick Trip, pump 2's on, he thinks you might be a mystery shopper. He doesn't know. So the mechanism is that he doesn't, the Quick Trip, you know, Chester Cadja, who started it, doesn't have to go to every single Quick Trip worrying every day if people are going to do a good job. Because he put in a process that has mystery shoppers that keep everyone accountable. And everyone knows 3 strikes and you're out. Everyone knows about 1/3 of your pay is bonuses based on your mystery shopper. So DJ Connection, after reading this book, I thought, I will take this idea and put it into the DJ world. So now after every event, we email the customer a survey, ask them to rate the DJ's performance on a scale of 1 to 10, and based on their review, it actually determines what the DJ gets paid for the night. So therefore, I don't have to worry anymore about DJs not doing a good job at somebody's wedding. Where I used to, every single show, I'd have to coach him and be like, all right, Jared, I need you to do a good job. This is someone's wedding. He's like, oh yeah, sure. I was kind of up late last night. Hopefully I'll do a good job. I'm like, hopefully it's someone's wedding, dear God. You know, but in his mind, well, it's my wedding 52 this year. I've done 104 weddings this year. Maybe I'm tired today. So I took that idea, put it into DJ world, and it fixed our quality control issues. And so what I'm saying is that's just one idea that I got from reading Good to Great. But if you read that, you might be able to fix your management problems real fast, because I have found that I am infinitely dense when it comes to coming up with new ideas, but I can take ideas from other companies and put them in our business. So I'd encourage you guys to increase your level of education so that you can add that to your reputation and really make the compensation that you deserve. Because think about it, if you work for your, I don't know, I guess you're like an owner that runs your apartment complex or an owner who actually owns the overall property, if you come to them with an idea that increases the satisfaction of your tenants by 30% according to their surveys, or makes them all very loyal to you, you're like irreplaceable at that point. So I'd encourage you to really add your reputation and your education. Principle number 5.